Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel.
Hello, everybody. Your old pal Bill Tucci here, coming to you live on this wonderful Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. As you guys been seeing from our the videos and our posts and photos and all that jazz, we have been doing some massive fulfillment on She Return of the Warrior, and I just want to say hello and give you guys an update on it. I've invited some of the hello, Brenda. TJ, good to see you. We can hear something. What did you hear? I don't know. So just be prepared. So we've had a lot of fun. We had a lot of great friends joined us this weekend, as we will be doing the same thing next weekend. And I just want to make a thank you to them, share some photos, maybe make a link to the I don't have to make a link to the video. It's like 5 minutes of us, but going through all the motions of putting together the stretch goal packs and packing up the books. And I don't know, I think we got at 1,000 packages over the weekend. We have 3,000 backers, but the goal is to have all the fulfillment be complete by the 1st of August. I'm sorry, August, the 1st of October. So I just want to, rock it and say thank you, everybody. Help support us. Let's see here. Flo Seisman, hello, Billy. Left you a message. Got a question I wanted to ask you in regard to buying one of your books. Oh, I'm sorry, Flo. I will check the messages. I've been kind of a little crazy here, working away, drawing pages, doing sketch covers, doing remarks, and trying to get out of the way, get out of Debbie's way, while putting together putting together all the books and getting them out. But yes, they will be another massive fulfillment goes on. A couple of 100 books are going out every day. Hopefully by the end of next weekend, we'll have another 1,000 books out. And again, our goal is to get the whole book published, the whole thing fulfilled and sent out by the 1st of August. I keep saying August. Why the hell am I doing that? By the 1st of October. And then a few weeks after that, we will be launching Shihikyo, which will be the follow-up story. And I'm already on page 25 of Shihikyo. So my plan is to be done with all my artwork by the time Haikyō launches. And the only thing we'll have to do is color it. The book, have the script done, have it lettered, everything by the time we launch, which we're looking at maybe the 13th, 14th of October. I just want to see what Brian Polito's doing. I know Brian always liked to launch around October 3rd, use the 13th of the month. And out of respect for him and Francisca and everybody in the Coffin Comics crew, we always go a few weeks after them because we just love them so much. But a lot of fun, a lot of really cool things happened this weekend. Again, I put the word out to some of our local friends, and everyone came out. Debbie and I were just overwhelmed by their generosity. We fed them. We had a nice big pizza party from Furchy's Pizza. Then we got home. My friends Rock and Damo came back from Florida. I'm sorry, from Connecticut. They came down from Connecticut and stayed the weekend. And we had a good time Friday night. We lit a little fire inside and had a few pops. And just had a nice fulfilling weekend in so many ways. I'm looking over here. Damo, why aren't you coming in, Damo? I invited you in. I sent you the link, Damo. Check your messages so we could talk about this. And yes, thank you. Needleman, good to see you, my friend. It's weird because I don't see the Facebook messages. Facebook is having a problem with StreamYard, it seems. And they're not I can't read the Facebook messages through StreamYard in the comment section. So yeah, it's best for you guys. If you guys want to get on and talk to me so I can see it, go to YouTube. The link should be provided in the Facebook page, and then I'll be able to, and then you could just comment on YouTube, and then I could see all your I can answer all your questions. Hey, scared the crap out of me.
I made noise. I haven't cleared my throat.
You did. You say hello? And here's Debbie, who desperately needs a drink, and we just asked, believe it or not. You tired? Yes, you're tired. Debbie's been working at it since 9, another 12 hours, huh? Or earlier than 9. But see, we had this perk, honey. So let's go over here. And it's buy Debbie a drink. It's with you today.
I'm too tired to have a drink tonight.
Well, if you look, 17 people. Wait, no, that's that. 17 people bought you a drink.
Aww.
So
We have the best friends.
we do. Let me see if I refresh it. That was kind of cool. Let's see if I refresh it. If anybody else bought you a drink. 18 people bought you a drink. We're gonna get Debbie all tipsy and bombed. But yeah, but the 18 people that bought you your drink, honey, believe it or not, have now pushed the She Return of the Warrior, No Fan Left Behind twin campaigns, both on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, past $190,000. Thank you, guys. It was also because it helps us with the with the fulfillment as well, because we didn't charge for shipping. And look at all those boxes. Oh, I love you, honey.
So almost just about 800 pledges have gone out.
800, okay. A lot of multiple packs too, right?
Well, no, that's pledges. So that
pledges
includes the pledges on Indiegogo. So there's a total number of pledges of a little bit shy of, I think, 3,600. So we're a quarter of the way.
Yeah, and then plus we sent out others too. So probably close to 1,000. Gotta have 1,000 books with all the other stuff that's been going out the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So here's our friends are on here. Lee Ditzworth is asking about eating pie. No.
What is
touching the comics in the boxes with greasy, with Popeye's greasy chicken.
I don't
fingers.
eat.
Yeah, Debbie hasn't eaten. Well, go get some.
I have a protein shake in the morning, and I just brought home a salad from Panera that I'm going to eat now. I haven't eaten anything.
Well, someone's saying great job. Thank you, William.
Thank you.
Well, Brenda's here. Look, our favorite.
Hello.
Oh, look how cute she looks in her picture.
She is adorable. She's the cutest. How are you?
Nice, expensive of champagne.
I do like champagne.
She does like the champagne.
I like Prosecco. The key is on the hook, unless you want it someplace else.
No, that's fine. Were you able to take care of everything? It beeped and all?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, go take Matthew and get something to eat. You guys deserved it.
I told you I just brought him a salad. I had Panera delivered.
Oh.
I'm going to
how bougie of you. Panera.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, honey. See you in a little bit.
The key is okay where I put it?
It's on the hook in our house, right?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I love it in there. Of course.
And you check the side door?
Yeah.
All right. Our Legion Hall, our great, my fellow Legionnaires lent us the hall to do the fulfillment. Because, Brenda says she loves us both. We love you too, Brenda. And I'm going to sit here and do some sketches. Figure if anybody has any questions. Let me see what Flo's question. I'd have to read it. But if you're on Facebook and you can ask me that way, I can answer it. Bill Andres from Albuquerque. Hello, Bill. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. The Facebook message scrolls so fast, at least with the YouTube one here. If you guys go to YouTube and you can ask me questions and I can hear you and I can answer it. And I can see them actually, not hear it, but I can do it. Let's see. Oh, Brenda, thank you for that. Oh, you're eating Popeyes. Well, don't wash your hands before you touch any of them comics, buddy. So for those people out there, I got to tell you, I had Popeyes once, and it was good. It was good, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Not as great as I thought it was going to be. With everybody you hear about Popeyes fried chicken, and you think it's going to be fantastic, and no, it's okay. It was okay. It was good. But I did have the Chick-fil-A, and oh my gosh, that was fantastic. I think the first time I had Chick-fil-A was like not this past summer, the summer before that. And I was like, oh my God, this stuff is great. And the service and everything like that. But anyway, getting back to the project at hand, let me pop me up and make me go big, the solo layout. Here's how our books are all shipped. They're all going to be shipped in our Hot Flips mailers, which is similar to this. really, put together really nicely. And everyone gets their books. Will come in a bubble wrap package. Look at that little Una hair. That Una was up here. And let's say, so here's your hardcover edition. And every book comes signed unless you specifically ask it not to be. This is one of my remarks. They're all sold out. There's only 100 of those, but there's a remarked edition. So everyone will get, and I don't think I have the print here, but you'll have a little package here. You'll have your She Way of the Warrior 25th Anniversary Black Line Edition. Okay. And then in the back of your stretch goal your packs are in there, which includes 10 trading cards. Am I blocking the light? Yeah, I am. 10 trading cards. 9 of those are silver metallic. One is oversized. They're beautiful. They're really nice. You get your Tucci Trooper patch, and you get your She vinyl car sticker, and a print. Our friends at the amazing API Printing, because of the whole COVID thing, they were really pushed back. Schedule wise, they really, same thing with the yearbooks. They do yearbooks for a lot of schools, and the thing was that the yearbooks didn't, because kids couldn't go to school to finish the yearbooks were late, thus pushing our book back, 2 months or so. But they finally came out. They're gorgeous. All the copies came out beautiful, and as a token of their appreciation for your patients, they sent every single person a free. If you ordered one of these books, the regular editions, either the main, that's Connie's beautiful thing cover, or the main cover, or the hardcover, or the Kickstarter exclusive cover, or the Mike Renzini cover, which you guys can still get on Indiegogo right now. They're in our in-demand store, which will be ending in a few weeks, just because when the campaign ends, we're ending it, and we're going to go forward with She Haikyo. We're going to launch She Haikyo. I think next week I'm going to have a page, a sign-up page for that. If you guys could join our mailing list, and because we're going to launch that again, like I said, mid-October. We send that mid-October. We're going to put a release date at March, but our goal is to start getting that book shipping in September. Because again, as I said, September. My goal is to have that book start shipping in December and January. We want all fulfillment done by January. We're going to put March though, because I'd rather be ahead of the curve than behind it. And the cool thing about that book, like I said, is I'm already more than halfway done with the comic myself. I've got another 3 weeks to finish it, which I will. The pencils, and look at that. It's a little bug flying around. And then there he goes. Where is he? Anyway, and then we'll go with while the book is in its 30-day campaign, we will have it colored and lettered and sent to the printer before Christmas, before the end of the year. And then by the time we get it from them, or in November, actually, because the campaign's going to end mid-November, get that book to the printer, say early December, and that's the main book, and then have that main book by January and start getting it out to everybody. And just appreciate it. Let's see here. We got a question from Bass Marine Comics. Will the next She campaign have remark covers and sketch covers as well? Yes. Again, another limited edition. I have the sketch cover. Here's the book, which will be for the sketch covers that I do. It will be the She Return of the Warrior sketch cover edition. I'll be doing sketches on this. It's only going to be 50 at Kickstarter and 50 for Indiegogo. And then, of course, our hardcover edition, I'll also be doing another 50 of those, all told, 25 Indiegogo, 25 Kickstarter, just because it's a lot of work. And I want to start getting on the next book as soon as I'm done with this one. Now that we seem to have a really good process going, a really good assembly line type of thing, if you will. And things seem to be moving quite smoothly and doing real well. So Debbie has that. We have the Legion Hall that we could rent out. That will be a fulfillment space. We could bring our friends in. Anybody wants to come in and be a part of it, if you guys are local on Long Island or New York, send us a message, and we'd love to have you in. And Debbie will talk to you about how we compensate people and stuff like that. That's really not my job, since I'm kind of a cartoonist, and I really don't want to be the person that's responsible for that. Hang on a second. Let me just check my messages here on Facebook. No, that's not my messages. Let's see. Where are these? The 6 others. Yeah. All right. Sorry, just checking some messages. I got a lot of messages, and forgive me if I don't answer my Facebook messages a lot. Same thing with Twitter, Twitter direct messages, because they just come so fast, and I look at it and there's like 10 of them, 15 of them. Like, oh, I don't have time to spend time on Twitter all day or Facebook. I like to post something, see some of my friends, photos of my friends' kids, see them getting cool things, and see some cool art, and then I move on. So, Rodney, my friend, how are you, buddy? Well, don't congratulate me. They're coming through. You guys are all going to get your books. They're everything's coming out fantastic. Yes, the duck stick is sleeping right now, TJ. I will awake the duck stick and bring it up and bring him in. So, Kilroy, you're not here. I see you, but I don't see you in the stream at all. You're not in the stream. I just wanted to. Hang on a second. Hang on. I might have to open another window. Hang on a second and close out this one. Let me see if I can do that, because something might have happened. I might have just went into StreamYard. Okay. Let me see. Enter broadcast studio. I'm going to enter the broadcast studio here too. Hang on. Because I'm wondering where are my guys? Where's my guests? Let me see if I can pop in here. Yeah, it's just 3 of me. Yeah, no one's here. You guys aren't here. I got my friend Damo saying he's here. You're not in the room, Damo. I sent you a link to the room. Where are you guys? Crazy. You're not here. You're not in the room. I don't know where any of my guys are. Where are I invited our fulfillment team, and some of them said they'd be able to come on. JC Vaughn as well is supposed to be coming on, but I am just on the, I'm in the room. I just went right into StreamYard and no one's here. Are you waiting in the back room, Dominic? Damo, are you waiting in the back room? I don't know. Anyway, that's my alarm. Anywho, so all right, so let's ask some questions. You guys have some questions for me? Let me start answering. What's this? Hang on. Hey, Billy, with as many Gemini comic mailers as you're shipping, did you know they'll print an image on your mailers if you order 4 pallets? It's another $4.50, but you could put she on the mailers. I did not know that. We get our mailers from Hot Flips, which I find are far more sturdy. And what is this? Hang on. Which is far more sturdy. I'm on the Facebook stream. No, I want you guys to join me in here, not in Facebook. I want you to join me in the StreamYard, in the green room, so you can come on live with me. I didn't send you guys a link for you to just comment. My God. But anyway, so the Hot Flips mailers, I love them. I think they're really strong. You got to see how thick they are. They're far thicker and they're stronger than the Gemini ones. Nothing against Gemini, but the Hot Flips guys, they're our pals as well. And we like sticking. They're like family. So we like sticking with people that we're used to. But I will look into that and see about that, because we are looking to get because right now we're using tape guns, and you could talk to Jay and Phil Russer and Jim Michalek and Rock and Damo, who have been helping me. The tape guns stink, but we get to look into a tape dispenser machine, and I could just print out the tape. And I've seen people have actually printed their logos, like She or Crusade Comics or Tucci Troopers, onto the actual tape. Let me see. I'm getting messages. I emailed you guys the link. Hang on. Messaged. you the link. I wanted the group here so we could talk about all the fun stuff and how I screwed up and made everybody ask a whole bunch more. Okay. Could not get in. I'm at work. Oh, okay, so he can't work. Okay. So I sent these guys I know I sent them the link. Let me just check. Yeah, there's a StreamYard link. Jay, you just have to click on the StreamYard link in the message. Ah, someone's coming in. See, someone's coming in. Rock's coming in. Whoa, he's real close to the camera, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm here.
Hey, Rock, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Look who's here with me.
Who's? Oh, look at that good boy.
Hey,
Look at that good boy.
I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't know it was on StreamYard. I was on the Facebooks.
Yeah, I sent you guys the link.
I know. I found it.
Oh, okay. All right. JP is like, yeah, I sent you guys. All you have to do is click on the link that I sent you guys. I have literally tens of people wanting to jump into the link. Tens of them. We should just get Brenda in here on the link and send her the link, because these people that like I'm in Facebook. What does that have to do? What is that all about, Rock?
I don't know.
So, Rock, tell everyone who you're out there with. Who are you out there with?
I'm out there with Jackson. He's on the other couch. He's chilling.
Oh, did Jackson miss you?
Yeah, he did.
He did, didn't he?
He certainly did.
Oh, that's a good boy, Jackson.
He waits for me every day when I get home. He does the same thing that Una does when she sees us.
Does he cry?
Yeah, we got to go out and play ball. He's just he's a good boy. How is Una? That picture you sent yesterday morning, she looked so good. She looked like her old self again.
Oh, yeah, she was. You got to see she's eating nuts at a house and home. For everyone out there, my dog Una had her third chemo session. And or maybe the fourth. I think it was a third chemo session. She's making great, TJ. Thank you for asking. And she gets really beat up from the chemo. You know, Rock. She really does. And it messes up her stomach and everything like that. And she doesn't eat for a day or two. And then yesterday she woke up and her ears were all perked up and she was jumping around and on three legs and she wanted to eat. Bam, bam, bam. So she's been eating like a puppy all over again.
Bless her.
Bless her.
Can you hear me? You got volume? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, and I want to throw up some images, Rock, because we had a fantastic time this weekend, didn't we? Well, yeah, I don't know how fantastic it was for you.
We kicked ours.
There we go. Look at that. So that was our little fulfillment center. We have my pal Jay Lipson right there. There's Damo in the background. Can you see Damo all the way in the back alone?
By himself?
Yeah, Damo's all by himself. Jim Jim came down. There's Rock right there. There's you. Is that William with you? No, that's Zane Lipson.
Yep.
To the left there we have Sam Lipson, who was sitting there driving Sam crazy, peeling, because all of those, the self-sealers, you got to peel the tape off of each and every one of them. And then reseal it. But the worst part is when you peel the tape off the self-sealer. Let me take that off for a second. You're like this, right? Trying to the tape sticks to you. And then finally you can flick it off into the garbage. Though I suspect some people might not have done that. What do you think? You think we're going to get a few complaints saying these weren't sealed? So, Rock. So anyway, and then we had we did a lot. Let's check out what we have. Here's Jim Michaelek again. There's Jim. Another thing we had to do, guys, is that we have every one of these comics. API, God love them. They did an amazing job, but they shrink wrapped every single book individually.
Every single one.
This is something that I would not recommend.
Especially for the fulfillment team.
I would not recommend it for the fulfillment team. Look, I got to go like this. Because we have to open up every single one, and there's about 6,000 comic books. And there's Jim around, take an X-Acto knife, cut it very gingerly, and wrap it and take it off because they all come signed. So, it's a lot of work.
Look, I lost 2 fingers in the process.
What?
I lost 2 fingers in the process.
Yeah, look at that. You lost 2 fingers. Here's me, us and Jake. There's me and JP. And let's see what that is.
I got it down to a system.
Jay, in your Facebook Messenger, you have the link. Go to your Facebook Messenger, how you found out about it in the first place. So here's me and Jay. So, and we just laid these books out. This is 2 8-foot tables filled with hundreds of books and just banging them out. Bam, 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 bam. It was a lot of fun. And then, of course, Fast Eddie came in on, this is Monday, and that truck is filled, except for the little things at the bottom. That's all our rewards for everybody.
They came right to the post, right?
Yeah, they came to the post and picked it up.
Yeah.
And they came twice today and got some more out of it. So they came twice today, and they came and then once yesterday. But I'm like, listen, I can load it up with the truck. I felt bad for him, I'm like, you know what? I'll just load them up and I'll bring them to you guys. I'll put it in the back of my truck and have William drive them over there. Jay is sending me text message. No, it's not.
What's going on?
All right. See, finally. Here's another Gindaloon Stugats, huh? What's the matter with you guys?
Who's coming?
I didn't know it was
Too many Italians.
I didn't know it was in Facebook Messenger. I thought it was on the Facebook stream link. So I'm like, that takes me to Indiegogo.
Jay, I thought the same thing, so don't worry about it. I figured it out too.
I said, here's the link. Join me on StreamYard at 9 p.m. Well, we're here, so this is good. So that was crazy, huh? That was a fun weekend.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, that was a good time. It's Damo saying hi, brother.
Hey, Damo.
Huh?
He still can't figure out to get probably.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Order the fan appreciation sheet. Thank you so much. I think next time, though, guys, we're going to see William is saying that Sticker Mule has printed shipping tape. Not sure if you get it from Uline. I don't care, but how cool would that be that, Ethan has the shipping tape, the actual brown tape that comes out of dispenser, comes out of a machine. And that just makes signing, getting the books done really fast. We just have to figure out where to buy one. Maybe Uline has it because I went to Staples and they didn't have it. But
some of the Uline dispensers aren't too good, though.
Some of the Uline stuff. Well, the Uline tape's a lot better than the Staples tape.
Yeah, this is true.
The Staples tape was crap.
But some of the
yeah, but we'll be using Sticker Mule tape, Rock. So we get the little Sticker Mule sticker. Remember the little mule?
the cute little mule that said, "Hey, look at this."
Yeah, they gave us a cute little mule sticker, and everybody wants them. So, thank you so much. We're trying, man. These guys are awesome. These guys are the Tucci Troopers right here. You see Debbie. I think Debbie's passed out. Debbie's been at that post since 9. Last night she was there till 10.
We had a good time though. I mean, we were rocking and rolling. We really had. Everybody was just in tune with each other. It was a pretty radical experience to just be banging that stuff out. And Rock over there was like a machine.
Yeah, well, I kind of made a mistake. Jay, if you guys heard on Sunday, when I had her box up 500 of the Sunfire cover.
Yep, I heard.
And that's why she has to be there working. She can't be at home. This cover right here, we sold over 500 of them or 600 of them, but we had to. Rock, you're on twice. Oh, Rock's frozen. Let me get rid of him here. Hey, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It froze up.
You froze
I don't
it
know.
again.
Get me out.
I think it's your internet. Your interwebs are messed up. But anyway, so I had them. I signed 540 of these or something like that, and then I had the guys and gals box them up. The thing was that only maybe 300 of them were single issues, so single order. So we had to open them all up and pack new stuff in them. Rock is frozen again, Jay.
He's got some
back on, buddy. We can't have this, Jay. We can't have this. You're going to be frozen rock. Are you there now? What's up with your internet? Rock, can you hear us?
I'm here. I don't know why I'm freezing up.
All right. Did you see this? Damo says we need duck stick stickers. And I'm telling you, I think we will do duck stick stickers. What do you think of that? It should be, I don't know, should it be a profile of the duck stick?
You got to see both of his eyes. Oh, I love
All
it.
right, Rock. We're gonna have to say goodbye to you because you're messing up our professional thing. So we do duck stick stickers for the next campaign. We're definitely gonna do the Crusade Comics sticker. You know, the shield and the knight on it. We'll do that one. And someone had asked about Tomoe. Yes, Tomoe is playing a huge part in 2021. The end of 2021. She will be returning. We have 3 She stories. This is, we have Haikyō, which is launching next month, Jay. Haikyō, we plan to ship by January, and then come February, we launch the next one, which will probably be She Amiya. And then after She Amiya, let's see if are you still frozen, Rock? Can't have this, Jay.
I think he's on his phone.
Yeah, I think he is on his phone.
Should reboot his phone.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's that. So and then so our plan right now for Crusade is next year, 2021, we'll see Zombie Sama 2, Z2, the return of Yojimbo. And then we have in October, we will be releasing in our campaign, our Haikyō campaign, the 464-page She Way of the Warrior / Tomoe Omnibus Edition. Massive hardcover edition. That'll be part of the campaign as well for October. Come February, we'll launch probably She Amiya, which will be, it's the 3rd part of the She Return of the Warrior Haikyō trifecta story. And then come July, we launch, that book will ship by May. Then come July, we hit with a super secret project that I can't really tell about. And then of course we'll do Zombie Sam as well in there. But I don't want to do these books, Jay, anymore until they're done. I don't want to launch them until they're done. So once, when we launch the books, coloring is okay because it only takes a few weeks to color the books. But once that 30-day campaign starts, all the black and white art and most of the color has to be done. The book's got to be lettered, everything like that. All the extras done, the cover's all done. And then we'll just be coloring the last, maybe 2/3 of the book in those 30 days. Once that is done, we go right to press and move on.
How many fulfillments do you think we have coming up in 2021?
3 at least. 3,
okay.
Yeah, 3. At least 3, maybe 4. Yeah, 3. 3 for 2021 will be 3.
Oh, before I forget, the group, the low grade group, all the admins wanted me to tell you thank you very much for the giveaway, which we've got. I think I have like over 160 entries right now.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you.
So that giveaway is doing well to celebrate She Return of the Warrior. And I know the rest of the fulfillment team, like me, we're looking forward to the next set and the next chapter so that we can help you get that out to everybody so they have stuff that they can read, some new She stuff, which is great that you brought her back.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm so damn pumped about this. It's not even fun. I'm so happy. I'm so excited for the project. I feel reborn again. It really reinvigorated my love for comics because I've learned to, I love comic books, but I got to tell you, I really started to hate the comics book industry. I hate what's going on with it. You got a lot of nefarious characters running it. I can't stand the gatekeeping that's going on when it comes to crowdfunding comics or mostly mainstream comics. Because there is a hit list and a blacklist, if you will. And if you say you voted a certain way, you're out. And you get marginalized and ignored. And, the hell with this. Now we go right to the fans. We go to the fans. And let's see. There's Rock again. Let's see if it works this time. Is it working?
I know I'm trying.
All right, Rock. Because you're frozen. Anyway, so if you could just stick around and listen, and you could talk, we'll listen to you talk. It's fine. But the fans are the ones who have the final say, and you give the fans what they want, right, Jay? I mean, we talked about that Saturday and Sunday about the fan. That we were all comic fans. Everybody in there, everyone who was putting together, fulfilling those books, we're all comic fans, and everyone was basically saying the same thing of this crap that's going on, these gimmicks that are going on, this SJW stuff that drives me up the wall. A lot of great creators are getting turned down for not so great creators, let's just say, or writers, people that don't really write comics or really care for comics, that are writing these A-list books. And they're writing these books because who they are, or what they've said, or how how controversial they may be on social media and stuff like that. But they're not writers. They're not, you know what I mean? They don't know the characters. They don't care about the characters, and they just want to throw some kind of message behind it. And the fans are responding, and you can see with the numbers, the books are bombing, and rightly so, because so many of them are crap. And when you come to crowdfunding, you have to respect the fans' wishes, and you have to respect what the fans are, what they're looking for. Because if they don't like what you're selling, they're not going to buy it.
Well, I'm kind of equating comic books over the past few years a lot to football, because why do people buy comics? I mean, yes, granted, you have the guys that are out there that are looking to make a buck, but take them out of the equation for a minute. Why are people buying comics? They're buying comics because they want to be entertained, right? They want to escape from their daily life. They want to have something that they enjoy that brings them back to their childhood, or just that they love to read because it's literally entertaining, very much like football. And I love football, but you know what? I can't stand watching it with all the nonsense that comes into it politically. It's not why I'm sitting in front of a TV. And it's the same thing when it comes to my comic books. I don't care what a person's sexual orientation is. I don't care what party line they sit with. I don't care how they vote. I care that they're not a-holes. That's it. That's all I care about. You want to vote for this one or for that one, or you want to hold a picket sign, that's your choice, and that's your right, and I respect it, even if I disagree with what it might be that you're doing. But when it comes to my hobbies and the things that I love, I want to enjoy them. I don't want to get sucked into all the other nonsense, because to me that takes away part of that joy of why I'm doing it to begin with. And I hate to see that happen in comics. I really do.
Yeah, and the people are responding that they're, oh geez.
I don't know what's
Reboot your phone, Rock.
going on.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not on your internet or something?
Yeah, I am.
All right, put a light on your face.
Okay.
There you go. Hey. All right. No, but Jay, you're 100% right that people want this for escapism.
Yes.
If you want, and they could have, if you want to have your politically driven comics, if you want to have your message comics, you can have that. But with the mainstream stuff, that's what the dominating factor of is this particular message. And people will say comics have always been political, and maybe so. Captain America punching Adolf Hitler in the face. Miss Fury taking on Nazis before the United States gets into World War II. The social issues with the 60s, with the Vietnam War and stuff like that. The thing is when they did those books, that was the prevailing sentiment of the entire country. Nobody liked Adolf Hitler in 1941, in 1940 in the United States. They all couldn't stand him. But you had FDR, and he was like, and he said it famously in the 1940 in his campaign that I will not send American boys off into any foreign wars. You know what I mean? Because war is the worst thing in the world. So people, we were the arsenal of democracy. We had we were neutral at the point until, of course, we got attacked by the Japanese, and then the Germans declared war on us. And like they said, they woke a sleeping giant.
Yep.
In the 1960s with the Vietnam War, with the same thing. Now, though, you had this very minuscule this very minuscule outlook on a perception of way things should be, a political stance. It is far and away extreme, all the way to the extreme left or something, and they're trying to push this into mainstream. And the mainstream readers aren't having it. The mainstream readers get it. We see that. Everyone's for certain things. Everyone's for, I don't know. I'm a conservative. Well, I don't know if I'm conservative, but I'm a red state type of guy. I guess you could say I'm a self-made person. We grew up, right, Jay? We didn't have a lot of money growing up. We were taught to work hard, put ourselves to school, do things like that, get a job, pay your taxes, do all that stuff. So I guess I'm center right, if you will. But I'm also an artist. I also went to the Fashion Institute of Technology. So I'm very liberal on social issues. All of my friends are a lot like me. The vast majority of my friends from Long Island, where I grew up in, feel that way. So I know people that are Trump supporters. I know a lot of Trump supporters. I know a lot of conservative people. I don't know any of them that are anti-LGBTQ rights. I don't know any of them. And that's like, thank you, Mr. Avi. Thank you, Doc. Is Rock frozen again?
Yep.
Oh, jeez. So I get, the thing is that they're trying to push this sort of agenda that really is so far out of the mainstream, and they're trying to hit you over the head with it that the people aren't responding with it, because like you said, you'd rather be entertained. And speaking of entertaining, ladies and gentlemen, writer, creator, editor, vice president, Gemstone Publishing, Mr. J.C. Vaughn.
Good evening.
Hey, JC, what's up,
How you doing, buddy?
Jeff, I want to thank you too for just like Jay and Rock, who preceded you before he was frozen rock.
Rock solid.
Yeah, solid rock. Thank you. Well done. Wordsmith. I want to thank you for coming down and helping us out Saturday.
Listen, man, I only helped out for about an hour and a half, but I really wanted to make my presence there since, we'd all invested so much in this book in terms of time and effort, and, that hard decision to go back and have pages redone after you'd already paid for them and everything else like that. And I knew what this book meant to you, and since the weekend I read the PDF, even though I'd seen it at every stage of development. Hello, Heroinberg. I just really, really wanted to be there for it. And I'm so happy you're getting use of my great photo of you.
Well, you told me, you said you should make
this is a Facebook banner as soon as I took it, man.
That was a good shot up on the stairs.
I've been spoiled the last few years of having Mr. Soloff take all those great photos. I mean, for years now. Yeah. But I used to be pretty good back in the day, and so it was a pretty nice composition. Like I told you, as soon as I shot it, I said that's a Facebook banner.
Yep, absolutely.
So that was pretty great. But have you heard from people? Have they been telling you that the guys that did the packing, did they read the book?
I don't know. Jay, did you read the comic?
I have not read it yet, only because, and I actually have a good excuse for this, because I've been working on the PC.
Oh, thank you. The JPC will be reborn.
Yeah, which is becoming the bane of my existence, but that's another story.
Oh, jeez.
But the books are right there, and I have some time coming up this week, and I plan to sit and read the book on Wednesday. I'm going to get my new comics, but my luck, nothing's going to be there for me this week because I don't have that much that comes in. But that's on my slate to read this week, and I'm excited for it. But with everything that's been going on with work, and then with helping you, and then doing the PC for you, so that you could do your live streaming and whatnot if you choose to use it, or so Deb can use it for the back end. It's been a little hectic, but I have slated time to do it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to use it so I can, whenever I stream, because I draw when I'm streaming. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use it as my secondary camera computer.
Okay.
So I can have the art.
So, to my question, Rock, did you read the book already?
Yes, I did. I read it when the black and white copy, and I read it again in color last night. It's phenomenal.
Did you like it? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was. Well, as Jeff had said, Steve and I worked really hard on the script, and Steve now is scripting Haikyuu all on his own. It's our story. We worked the whole story out. Wrote the breakdowns of what happens in each page. Each page sequence that was all done by Steve, and I'm scribbling away now, and then getting off to Gardenio Lima for the finishes because he's just, oh my gosh, amazing. And the same thing with She Return of the Warrior, and then even to Brian Miller. And as you had said, Jeff, how many times do you get a second chance to make a first impression? So
it's a really amazing thing that it was said there are no second acts in American life, but there are, and they're phenomenal. It's not that this is exactly what you would call a comeback, but it is a resurgence. It absolutely is. And when you come in, Billy and I had this discussion on Saturday, and in the mid to late 90s, after like 15 years, Blondie released a new album, had the song Maria on it, and it sounded like what Blondie would sound like if they had kept on making albums the whole time. This feels like, what if there was She the whole time? This is where we would be. And it's so intriguing because it makes you want to know what happened in the intervening years, which is substantial.
It's a completely different life,
and
different world,
and people have aged, which I love. I mean, as much as, listen, I'm a Nero Wolfe fan, I'm a Sherlock Holmes fan, as much as I'm a James Bond fan, and these characters tend not to progress. But I also, Tom Clancy from the very beginning, Jack Ryan aged.
Yep.
And
she ages, but she ages well. And so, if I may, this she is. She's got, you'll see in her, she's in her 40s, but she works out, and all.
There's a great matter of fact, probably the best episode of Moonlighting was called "The Dream Sequence Always Rings Twice," and that one fits for that image you just showed. Love that picture of Debbie.
Yeah, that's Debbie today, and we added a perk, and because we just had it. I said, "You look like you need a drink," and she's like, "I do." And she's been there. She got there about 8:30 this morning. Phil Russert came in and helped us out. Phil Russert has been helping us out every day. He gets there.
That's great.
Yeah, and her and Phil have been just working away, and she still managed to smile. But I'm like, you need a drink. So what I did is I made a perk called "Buy Debbie a Drink." And let me see how we got. Let me see if I can refresh it. Here we go. 23 people bought her a drink. Thank you, everybody.
That's great.
That's great.
So she's going to be liquored up. And I said October 21 is when they're delivered the drinks, because she's not drinking until this campaign's done. She can't drink. We can't have. She's going to be putting Spider-Man comics and stuff like that into the sheet packages. But thank you all for that. But that also is going to help with our shipping. And we've made the decision. We actually had an argument about it later the end of last week, is that we're going to have to add a shipping charge, like $10 or something, just because we had no idea of how much the costs are involved in, those hot flips boxes.
I can absolutely tell you that's the one thing that all of us, those of us that have done Kickstarters before, make a mistake on as our audience grows. And mine, we're not talking about growing by gazillions like yours is, Billy, but you don't get how much it costs shipping wise to go to the next level.
Yeah.
The boxes, the supplies, even when you're buying in bulk and getting a discount, it literally adds up.
Yeah. We had no idea. Oh my gosh. And we're like, wow, that is a lot. So buy her a glass. I just said buy her a glass of wine, but she's like, well, what if I want a margarita?
A margarita.
Buy Debbie a drink.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Hey, do you have the picture of the postal truck?
Yes, with Eddie, of course. Fast Eddie. There's Fast Eddie.
So the whole truck is full. Look at this.
Yeah.
That
whole
entire truck is
full.
She Return of the Warrior.
Yeah, Debbie said so. We've shipped about over 1,000 packages so far,
and you're shipping them out a whole new door.
Yeah, and they're going out more tomorrow. A couple of hundred a day. Looks like we've got. It looks like, is it Solid Rock or no? No, it's not.
I keep freezing up. I don't know why.
I think it's your phone and your internet.
Reboot your phone, Rock.
I did.
Oh, okay. Well, now he's moving.
He's not
A little
Solid
better.
Rock. But so Eddie came. And he's like, whoa, and they came today, and they had another 2 truckloads of stuff today, and but I'm like, listen, I'll get William. I'll throw him in the back of my truck and have William take him to the post office and do it. I'm like, we appreciate you guys doing this for us, because technically they're supposed to charge us and they haven't.
Well, one of the great things is when you have a relationship with people at the post office, and like for me, I would ask them, what time should I come in? I'm going to come in tomorrow with like 50 boxes. I'm going to come in tomorrow with 100 boxes and things like that. And they tell me what time would be better. And and they just absolutely treat me great. Of course, this was pre-COVID where everything slows down, but all you have to do is communicate a little with your post office, and they're if you've got a good post office, and we do, it's a big help. Unlike our carriers, our local carriers have been just different.
Oh, that's an excellent idea, because I'll definitely do that tomorrow. Because another thing is that we had so many people bought multiple levels that we have to send them in the big priority boxes.
Yeah.
Which is super expensive. My God, they're like $20. I don't know if we could. It's the big one that goes out is $22.
The one that's big enough for art.
No, the art one that's going in another we had to buy.
There's an actual one that is like the big priority box, only it's bigger, but you got to ask for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't put them out.
Really?
Or you do.
They never said anything to us about this.
Yeah, or you do if it fits, it ships boxes, which are a few dollars cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we bought.
Right.
We ended up buying Debbie
flat
bought
rate
those
ones.
big, heavy
Right.
cardboard. She bought these.
Well, and the other thing is the shipping art. I've never shipped art that I wasn't freaking paranoid.
What's that?
I've never shipped comic art that I wasn't paranoid.
Oh, I know.
Until it got there.
Oh,
Jeff
is so right with that.
Yeah.
I had done a Mark Texera sketch opportunity, and he's doing big 11 by 17 sketches, mainly of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, how in the hell am I going to ship these without them bending? Like, I mean, God forbid, because these weren't cheap sketches, some of them, and I went and bought 11 by 17 top loaders, and then they must have had 1.5 inches of cardboard that I had put on each side of the things, and put them in a bubble mailer, and then in another mailer. Oh, and nothing got damaged, thank God. But
the other thing is right now, in the COVID situation, where the volume of stuff being shipped by mail and the courier services is so extreme.
Yep.
That, man, I've got a Kickstarter coming up, and I've got a piece of art that I want to offer in it, and I just don't know if I'm going to do it because it's irreplaceable, and the number of things that get damaged are just outstanding at the moment, which is just a horrible thing to have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bigger it is, the easier it is.
Real quick, Candace, mystery bag safe. Everything everything is scheduled to ship by the end of September, by October 1st. So that's the plan. The mystery bags will be at the end, because I want to go buy some fun stuff for it, like spiders and glitter. Have you heard stuff like that?
Yeah, we were talking about this with a certain somebody we know.
All right, so I don't even know what the mystery bags are.
That's the whole point of a mystery bag.
It must be.
All the every mystery bag does come with a Return of the Warrior comic, and then a classic She comic or a classic Crusade comic.
Oh, nice.
And then other fun stuff. We're just gonna throw little crazy things in there. Jeff, we have a question for you. What is your feelings on Enola Holmes?
I feel unqualified to answer that question.
Good answer.
Yeah, the Bigfoot Bill. Yeah, his Doug uses API as well, and he goes all out with the shipping boxes and everything. Incredible. But I'm getting some questions, so let me see. Scott Phillips, all right. Hey, Scott, good to see you. It's going to pop in and dash, but I don't think my students will like me sleeping on my desk. All right, Candace, I sent that. Good to see you, okay? And good luck tomorrow with your students. Glitter. Oh, she's still up. Okay, good. You've got it. Okay, glitter yours. We're going to glitter bomb yours.
Good night, Candace.
Disturbing.
And then a few weeks after that, we launch Haikyuu, Jeff. And
I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this because it is going to have a much shorter turnaround than Return of the Warrior because we're in the groove art wise. Billy's art and Gardenio's finishes combined with the beautiful colors from Hi-Fi Color.
Yeah.
I see. This is really biased. I mean, first off, I'm a She fanboy. Secondly, I've written a lot of She. Third, I've edited. In this case, I'm edited. Sort of played a little bit of Story Guru on tone, but not much. These guys didn't need much editing. But
yeah, we really
it seem a bit self-serving for me to keep talking about how freaking great this is. But if you can't get that I am genuinely enthusiastic about it, I don't know what else to tell you. Because I am. This is right now best She comic ever. There's a really good chance that Haikyuu is going to be the best one ever. And then the one after that, well, I know that's going to be the best one ever.
Well, there you go. Look at that. Look at you. You scamp you. Scamp.
You know,
the Haikyuu. No, Haikyuu is fan. I'm loving Haikyuu. I gave myself goosebumps. When I was writing Sergeant Rock: The Lost Battalion for the ending scene. And then
I remember that. Didn't you drop the fan in the bathtub?
Jeff, no one's supposed to know that. That was that's just because of like a fan,
goosebumps.
Like a goose pimples they gave me. But just fun art. I just love this scene. Really, what follows this.
What's great about this is that the storytelling, the breakdowns, how it flows from panel to panel. This is, even though you've got somebody else doing the finishes, this is pure Billy Tucci. This is what how many years have I been saying this is what it should be? And the answer for those of us that aren't Billy Tucci is I've been saying it for a lot of years.
Yeah. No, but you know what it is too? It's I love it because it's like using an inker, but without inks. Because I love the water. I mean, if you look at Brian Miller's colors right here, I love the watercolor effect. I
really want to quote you on that. It's like you're using an inker without inks.
Yeah. See, with graphite, it's like using an inker with graphite. Okay, here we go. Delvey, can you sign mine? Glitter? No, yours went out today. Your package is out, and it shipped flat.
Release the hounds.
Release the hounds. So yours is at the Millers aren't they amazing? They're amazing.
They absolutely are. Both Billy and I have used them on projects without each other and together, and they are just stupendous.
Yes. I would love to do a Lady Death crossover, and I'm going to approach Brian with that. And in a few years, because we have our 2020, 2021 all set, scheduled, and into 2022. But how cool would that be? A Lady Death She crossover. Maybe I do it on Indiegogo and he does Kickstarter.
Two heavy hitter bad girls.
Yeah. Or maybe I just have him do it all. Since he's so much better than anybody else. Yeah, let's just have him do it. But,
you know what was actually really nice though over the weekend while we were doing all the fulfillments, and for anybody that is out there watching that has never done a fulfillment or hasn't worked in comics in some respect, it's busy. Yeah, I have your downtime, but it's busy. But one of the things that I have to say that I enjoyed the most out of it was at one point Jay Lipson and I, we're lining up all the books, like you see in the picture on the bottom of the screen there. We're lining all the books up for Billy to sign the
Oh,
books.
those. Yeah.
Like that. And it wasn't just one set, it was over and over and over. Right? And Billy is running all over the place. And I'm constantly saying to him, Billy, sign, because he's got to finish signing all the books. But what was really nice to watch when he had his downtime and he was just looking around and kind of taking it in is here's an artist, here's a creator, seeing what he's invented or created physically come to life, because this is the last stage before this stuff gets in your guys' hands.
Yeah.
And it was nice to just see that full circle of a project.
Yeah, because there is nothing, and Jeff, you could attest to this, and I want anyone else out there, if you guys want to be comic book creators, you can do it, because there is no reward. I mean, I was nominated for a Batman story for an Eisner Award, and I remember when that book came to my house. I mean, you get them before they're in the stores, and just excited about, wow, look at this, I did a Batman story with my kids, in it. But that paled in comparison to looking at, seeing this, my pride and joy, my
right on with that. And I think JP's right to call out this thing. There's something amazing about this, and I was hinting at it a little bit ago. That weekend we got the PDF to look at the book. Mm-hmm. You and I had been, from the concept stages on up, we've been talking about this. I saw every step of the development. Pencils, redoing the pencils, getting it right, tweaking the script, you and Steve going back and forth on story elements, the concerns about was there enough action, was there too much of this, too much of that, balancing it all out, getting all that done. So I know what this book is going to be in my head, right? Mm-hmm. But then I get the PDF and I was like, oh, now it's real. Right? And so I'm reading it. I even print it out. And I'm sitting on the sofa reading it and showing it to Rosine. Look at this. This is really cool. All that kind of stuff like that. And then we get to Saturday. And I drive up and I come in and it's there. And that phrase comes up again. Oh, now it's real.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's despite the fact that I just sent a 1,200-page book to press. I know what books are going to look like before they come out. And tomorrow I'm sending a 336-page book to press. I know what it's going to look like, but there's nothing like having it in your hands when you've put in a lot of time and work on it. And Billy, with no offense to Batman, I mean, because Batman's one of the greatest characters ever. But this is yours, man. Yeah. So you know how I felt when I got Vampire PA in, when I got Zombie Proof in, when you got Zombie Sama in. Mm-hmm. This is one of your kids, man.
Yeah. And I love in the chat we're getting a lot of suggestions, Jeff, and I think this is going to make you smile. Thank you. Close.
Oh boy.
And then you had this, and then it was followed up by this. Look. Closer.
Well,
warmer.
Wow, we're sort of stepping on it, aren't we? Let's just not go.
Warmer. We're not going to give away the farm. We're not going to say anything, but the possibilities are endless. Yes, they are endless. And I would love to do this giant destroy all monsters of comic book independent characters, creator-owned characters with my pal Jeff Vaughn. But maybe, who knows, right?
I think. Look at this. There's all these crossover ideas popping up. Hey, look at Edwin's. Yeah, look at that.
We got to. Thank you very much for our $5 super chat, Edwin. We appreciate you all the time helping us out. Hey, Billy, looking forward to getting my copy of She. I'm launching my first ever IGG, The Ace, in January. Got any advice for a new creator? Boy.
First things first. Watch the crowdfunding comics shows that are on this Pop XP channel that Billy and Niall do. They are a fantastic source of information. Learn everything you can if I'm on, when we ask the question, what mistakes did you make? Everybody, and we were just talking about postage a minute ago, about shipping, how much boxes cost, how much shipping things cost.
Yeah.
Okay. Learn everything you can. Have an attitude that everything you do, once you click go on your Indiegogo, you are not comic book creator, Edwin. You are now customer service, Edwin.
Right.
You have to get that idea to succeed multiple times. It's like, listen, a lot of people can succeed once. But if you take it seriously and want to look at this as either a stream of income or a stream just to get your comics done, then really, really take that to heart.
Yeah, because
sorry to interrupt, Billy, but that stuff, that's my favorite part of the show.
He's right.
Yes. Yeah.
He's right. In essence, you do become a publisher. You're not just a creator anymore. There's a lot that comes with that. There's a lot of little inner workings behind the great and powerful. What is that? The behind the drapes of the great and powerful Oz. There's
the Oz.
That man behind the curtains. Yes, it's with responsibility. Wait.
Yeah, and that's the thing is really watch, not only our show, but watch some of these other shows. There's a lot of great creators who have YouTube channels. Follow them, please. You can go on Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You can go on Brian Polito has one. Dan Fraga has one.
Yep.
Lots and lots of great crowdfunding shows or shows of just comic creators talking. You could ask them. You can always ask me anything you'd like, Edwin. But the thing is get the book done before you launch. I'd say that is the most important thing. If you can get all the art done before you launch, if it's possible, I would do that. Another way is if you don't want, another thing that I would do is maybe if you're not sure how your numbers are going to be, why don't you launch your book as a digital only version? You can ask for a lot less work, a lot less money, right? Because let's face it, the most expensive thing about publishing a comic is printing it and shipping it, far and away.
And listening to dissenting opinions, like people like me who think that digital comics get stolen too easily. They do. Maybe 1 in 10 people pay for a digital comic.
Right. But the thing is, at least if you
I know. Listen, you got to be real. You got to be realistic. But there are so many great print-on-demand options that even if your goal is modest, that you can do it and not lose money on.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
do you think of the idea of doing the book first as a digital edition? Get a night. Get your.
I think they should be called giveaway first.
Do what?
Okay, 1 in 10 people pays for a digital comic. So you're giving it. Because there's no movies right now, the top torrent sites are all comics.
Okay.
They're stolen. Then some guy pays for it.
Right.
Like
and another one for
now,
Edwin.
let me say this. I'm a digital comics creator. There are venues you can do where they can't be stolen. But that's not when when somebody gets a PDF. When it's a PDF, they're gone.
Yeah. And the other thing for Edwin that he should be thinking about too is ABC, which is an old saying, always be closing. So in this case, if you got to get the word out too, so always be telling people, I'm on Indiegogo or I'm on Kickstarter. I have this new book. It's a great idea. It's a phenomenal story. This is how you go to check me out. Because the more people that know about it, and in comics, I'm sure you guys all would agree with me on this. You tell one person one thing in comics, and somehow 2 days later, everybody seems to know what you told them.
Yeah.
So,
JP's right. Billy, don't you think that your experience, which is not a crowdfunded book in any way, but don't you think your experience with Sergeant Rock has altered your outlook in terms of that you feel like you are responsible for marketing everything that you do?
Yeah, and because I did do all the marketing for that.
Damn straight you did.
And it was incredibly frustrating. I remember we had, I was talking to the people up there, and they wanted me to get on NPR and Chris Wallace, and Chris Matthews, and said we'd like to see if we can get the book on, not me, but or me maybe, onto NPR and Chris Matthews is what they said. And I said that would be great. I said, but also get me on Bill O'Reilly and Rush Limbaugh while you're at it. And they're like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, let's reach the biggest audience possible.
Yeah, there's no.
You know, I don't care what
there's
some of the
literally-
political views are.
There literally is no sense in the business world, and you don't like. Okay, Billy Tucci does not have a fiduciary duty to us, the fans, or his collaborators, or anything else like that. He has a fiduciary duty to his family. And to his family, his job is to go out and earn as much money as he possibly can, doing comics, doing art, doing whatever it is he has to do, even if it's digging ditches, right?
Yeah.
That's his responsibility as a husband, as a dad, whatever. Well, if you're in the situation where you're just responsible for you're a comic creator with a project, then your goal is to get that in as many hands as possible.
Yeah.
There is no honor in deliberately failing. And deliberately failing is not getting it in the hands of as many people as possible.
Right. And the thing is that two things. Their response was, "Oh, Billy, well, you know, guys like Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly would only use the veterans to get their political points across." And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then I was like, "Well, you know,
All right, so forget the negative.
I wanted to get with
the
the
negatives
Japanese American veterans too, to get the veterans on.
This is what I'm going to say, Billy. Don't get lost in the weeds here. Don't talk about what didn't happen. Talk about what you
3
did
seconds. All right, I'm back.
That was amazing. Billy, talk about what you did do to get this thing out there. Talk about the positives, the interactions with the veterans, and the other things you did, and the coverage you got, which was just amazing.
Oh, I mean, my gosh, how many times do you have dinner with a Medal of Honor recipient, right, Jeff?
We have long discussed that one person ever has found a way to shut me up, and that's Billy, putting me at dinner opposite of a Medal of Honor winner. And you know, the great question there is, what the hell do I have to say except yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, sir.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was an amazing night in San Diego. That's like 10 years ago.
And you remember Bill Cole coming by your booth and seeing the Medal of Honor and just snapping to attention and saluting.
Yeah.
And it was one of my dearest memories right there, man. That just tells you a lot about a person.
And our dear friend Bill Cole actually supported our campaign. So thank you.
Did he really?
Yeah, they was like, "Oh, Bill Cole, look."
That's great.
The stickers and
Bill is semi-retired, and he sold the business.
Good for him.
But he was always one of my favorite customers to deal with.
I bet you he's glad he sold it before the COVID.
He is too.
Man.
Yeah, Edwin, and other creators that are trying to come out and self-publish a book, you really do have to eat, sleep, breathe, and dream that thing until you have fulfilled your pledges and you've got that in your hand where you're going, okay, it's going into Gemini because it's going out to, JC Vaughn, and this one's going out to this one, and this one's going out to that one. The marketing part of it is so important. If people don't know it's there, it could be the best comic book ever written, but you need the audience. You got to let people know.
This is it, man. The best comic in the whole world that never comes out sucks.
Yeah. You're right.
And JP, I think you're really right, man. And in all seriousness, don't you think that the part about getting your comic out there is where comics is the closest entertainment form to being a meritocracy that there is? It's not about who's got the most talent. It's about who's willing to be the most persistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the merit isn't like, hey, you're a brilliant artist, we'll just hand you all this money. Okay. So I just believe really strongly what you're saying. What was that Lou had on there, Billy?
Lou said, I reread bedtime stories twice while I was at the pain center at HSS.
Oh man, I'm really glad to hear that. I take it that you read it twice because you liked it, and not because it was incomprehensible. We've got a new one that's in the pipeline. The trade paperback, we launched the Kickstarter at a time that was just really poorly thought out on my part. Again, another mistake that we all can learn from. So I think what we're going to do is come back with a comic book called Bedtime Stories for Impressionable Children, King Size Giant Annual.
Nice. Love it.
And it's going to be, I think it's going to be like a 64-page black and white comic. I just got a really great, phenomenal cover that could be the crowdfunding exclusive cover from my good friend James Nelms, and it's just phenomenal. It makes me want to write a story to go with it. It's so cool. And I think I need 2 pages of art and the issue's done.
Very nice.
I'm actually trying to talk, Billy, you'll get a kick out of this. I'm trying to talk Bob Overstreet into letting me use a story he drew in the 60s.
What? Well, why not? Why wouldn't he do that?
Well, Gemstone is using it in color. And first off, I don't want to undercut us for doing it. But Bob did it as part of a fan comic in the I think 1964. And it's very Ditko-esque.
Very good.
Very
nice. Jeff, can you send that to me? I promise not to share it with anyone.
I will be glad to. Do you know Mort Todd?
I do not know Mort. I know who he is. I'm not sure if I know Mort though.
Gary and Don Guzzo. Don did the cleanup work on the black and white art, and it was just pristine when she was done with it. And so we called up Mort Todd, who does a lot of the Charlton and Ditko recoloring, and said, "Hey, you want to take a crack at this?" And he colored it just like it was, a modern take on a 60s Ditko story.
Nice. Oh, Jeff, you have to send that to me.
Yep.
Billy,
how many pages is it?
11, I think, or 12.
Oh, nice.
It's beautiful. And you know what? It's very much in the EC style. It's like dominated by the writing. The panels were even laid out by the editor, and then Bob went in and drew them. And I've been talking to him about it recently because we've got this book that's going to press tomorrow called Overstreet at 50, 5 Decades of the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. And it's got a lot of tributes to Bob, and it's got a lot of remembrances from people in the industry, and cover gallery of all 50 years worth of, and for the last 20 some, we've had multiple covers. And
so that's not the price guide.
What?
Yeah, let me.
It is not the price. It is not the price. It is not the price guide. It is a companion to it. It will sit perfectly next to it, same format and everything like that.
Because I got, and thank you so much, Jeffrey.
Aha! I haven't
opened them up yet. And again,
why don't you open Jay? That is the wonderful Winona Earp cover that you have there.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is very, very close to sold out. Very close to sold out.
Very cool.
And I got to ask you, why don't you do this while we're on the show right now, Billy? Why don't you open that facsimile edition of Overstreet 1 there?
Yes, I'd love to. Okay,
I think you should.
So you're going to do I'm going to make myself larger, but you're going to do the commentary.
I will do the commentary. In a word.
Somebody's cat's meowing.
Yeah, it's mine. She wants to eat because nobody feeds these animals.
One taco stand, one way of life.
So what do we have here, Jeffrey?
It is a facsimile edition. Only the indicia and the copyright information and, of course, the price has been changed compared to. Look at that cover, Billy. Look at the cover of that thing. And I got to tell you, look at the front cover.
Yeah.
Bob drew that.
Oh, wow.
That was 1970. There were no stats of these logos. So Bob drew that by hand. And it came out in 1970. The top price in the guide is Action Comics #1, just as it is today. And it was a whopping $300.
No Charlton?
No Charlton at the time. Charlton was still in business when that came out.
Yeah. And look at the back. Look at an ad.
Robert Bell, one of the early dealers.
So they had comic bags. And imagine if people had bought these, how much more work? Hop, New York.
Well, what's interesting about Billy, in all seriousness, we occasionally will still find collections that are in Robert Bell bags, and they are so degraded, they are reverting back to oil.
Because of the bags?
Because they're that old. But, regular, other than Mylar, comic bags are not meant to be permanent.
Oh Lord, you talking about the old bags without the lip?
Yes, absolutely. And they're going yellow and slimy.
When you touch them, they almost feel sticky, if not slimy.
Absolutely, JP.
Well, JP has his Facebook group, Low Grade Comics. Well, Jeff,
Okay.
this feels
All right.
fancy.
So
now, was it hardcover?
there was never a hard. This is the difference. We did do a soft cover of this too. There was never a hardcover edition of the first guide. So this is a little bit of an anomaly, and in that sense, not a true facsimile. But
Well,
okay, Billy, open
if
this
you
up.
look here, only $3 per 100. How much are comic bags now? Are they like $15 for?
It depends on what kind of bags, but they're between 15 and 20.
Yeah. So, oh, look at this. Acknowledgements. Is this his original acknowledgement? Or is that from you?
It has been tweaked slightly, I will admit. Now, I'll tell you the coolest part about this. Bob actually went and found a font that matched his old typewriter. So it really is seamless what we've corrected on there.
Oh, I didn't even notice this. Oh my God. See, I have an artist proof edition.
That is an author's proof edition signed by both Bob and Steve.
Oh, Jeff, thank you.
Well, that's Bob. He was very appreciative of your ad in the guide.
A wonderful letter. Oh,
that's cool.
I'm going to cherish this. So now we can have fun with this. This is why I needed my overhead camera, because I can go through and we could see how much Action Comics number one is.
Action Comics number one, $300.
All right, here we go. I opened it up. Action Comics number. Here we go. I just opened right to the page.
There you go.
Okay, so Action Comics, which is, I don't want to bend it too much, which is right there. So for an Action Comics, so it says Action Comics. It has the whole list of all the Action Comics, right?
Get ready to get very sick, guys.
And it says Action Comics number one in 1970. First appearance of Superman. June 1938 to the present. Issue number one, Origin Superman intro, Zatara. A good one was $200. A fine condition was $250, and a mint condition Action Comics number one was $300.
You know what that just sold for recently?
And the top end is reported is 3.2 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sick.
What an Amazing Fantasy 15.
Top end.
Oh man, it's not even up there. Detective 27 is the second highest book, and it's 275.
Really amazing. Let's see, Amazing Adventures, Amazing Detective, Amazing Fantasy. Amazing Fantasy from February 1960 to August 1962. Marvel Comics Group. 15. Origin and first appearance of Spider-Man. For a good copy, it's $12. For a fine copy, it's $14. And for a mint copy, it's $16.
That's another and
Amazing Fantasy number 15.
And that's another $1 million comic.
Yep. That's one of my holy grails. That
now one of the great ones. There was a Spider-Man one in one of the early big auctions. Once certification came in, the slabbing. There was an Amazing Spider-Man, and I was standing with Bob at our old Diamond International Gallery's office, and Bob was pointing to it in the catalog, and he said, that was my second copy of Spidey 1. And I said, really? You can tell? He goes, oh, I know for a fact this was my second copy. And he says, and I made a killing when I sold it. I said, how much did you get? And he said, $6.50.
Oh man. Gosh.
Which shows River Street, man. Not like another one, by the way.
How much is the Amazing Spider-Man number one worth today? Not the reprint.
Not as much as AF-15, but it's up there.
It's a great book, particularly in grade. It's a great book to have, but it's not anywhere near like AF-15.
Well, how much do you think would a good condition go for?
Good, like a 4.5, 5.0.
I guess that's what that would be. Let me get off of me. Sorry, hang on.
That's probably somewhere around the 30,000 mark.
Oh, okay. Well, here for a good copy was $12. For fine condition book, it was $14. And for a mint condition, Amazing Spider-Man number one, March 1963, was $16.
since we're on the subject of Spider-Man, because I've heard this come up in conversation with comic guys for a while now, and Overstreet, I don't know how they pulled this off, but how did you guys get Todd McFarlane to draw Spawn with Spider-Man, which is virtually unheard of? Yes. How did you get him to actually do it?
Let me say this as point of clarification, and not to split hairs. It's not virtually unheard of. It's unheard of. It's a little Steve Jeppy, a little Josh Jeppy, a little JC Vaughn, networking like crazy, maintaining a great relationship with Todd on the part of Steve and Josh, talking to our friends at Marvel. If you noticed, Marvel hasn't done any intercompany crossovers in a long time.
Yes.
I mean, off the top of my head, I think about 13 years, but it's at least 13 years. And I think that there's, a real reason that they feel that they're the strong brand. And
I think the last one they did was Battle Books.
maybe. But at any rate, regardless of whatever their reasons for it, that's their policy. And, that we wanted to do something very special for Overstreet number 50, obviously. And we're building up a good relationship with Marvel. We've got several Marvel covers in the pipeline, including Overstreet at 50. The companion book has a great Just Go Hulk cover. And we've already announced David Mack, Daredevil and Echo for Overstreet 51. And I think that the climate was right. Todd had been to Stan's memorial service, always gave Stan a ton of credit for, having the gumption to do Image, go his own way. Todd had not drawn Spidey professionally in 27 years. It is the first crossover professionally of these characters. It is Todd's first Overstreet cover. Mm-hmm. And we feel like we hit our goal of doing something special for Overstreet 50 pretty significantly with that one piece. And it took negotiating and hanging in there, and everybody, Todd, Marvel, us being all on the same page. And then when it came down to it, it took Brian Haberlin coloring it in about an hour, because that's about how much time he had.
I love that Todd's got Spawn on top of Spidey, which I'm amazed that Marvel allowed.
I think one of the things that really works for that, given the dimensions of our cover are slightly off of comic book specs, it's hard to go wider. And I think that it makes sense out of the two characters, which one can be upside down and still seem like the right thing, and that's Spidey. And let's face it, Todd is and always will be one of the defining Spider-Man artists. I mean, yes. Seriously, I grew up with the tail end of the Ross Andrew era. I'm a huge Ramita fan, and it took me till I was an adult to like Ditko Spidey. I always liked Ditko Doctor Strange, but I'm really a Ditko guy now. So I look at those guys, and there aren't that many guys you consider defining as a Spidey artist. There's always the one that you came to first, which was whoever was drawing it when you came to the book. Yeah. And then there's a relatively small pantheon. Todd belongs in there all day. Yeah. And we're just super privileged to have him on our cover. And correspondingly, I think we've got like less than 250 of the hardcovers left, which is great. Just insane.
Now, Jeff, let me ask you a question. With the size of the Overstreet price guide,
yes,
and you got, this is your size, yes. Right? The original one, though, was more in tune with the comic book size. Why the change?
Well, don't forget the hardcover. The hardcover is a little bit off size of what the original one was. If you've got, let me show you it's a little bit bigger. Having the hardcover, you can probably see just the top edge here.
Yeah.
So this is the softcover version of it.
Was it more like 11 by 17 or something then?
Oh, no. I mean, it's... I'll tell you what. Let me look at one of my other books. I don't know. I'd say it's pretty close to 5 and... Let's call it 5 3/4 wide and 9 tall.
Okay. Now we have a question here. So, Zan had said $12 in 1970 is $80 in 2020.
Don't we all wish?
Yeah. Lewis asks, he says that his dad has two amazing Fantasy 15s. One is missing half the front cover. So
That's a great question. We have
now, Jay, you have your low grade comics page.
Yeah,
What do you think of something like that as well?
Yeah, so I'm one of the administrators for Low Grade Comic Collectors Buy Sell Trade. We're the largest buy sell trade for comics in the world on Facebook. We've got, I believe now, 65,000 members.
Wow.
And all right, so that AF-15 that's got half the cover ripped off of it. This is actually kind of interesting because if it's the top half of the cover, that very well could have been one of the books at the newsstand at the time that didn't sell. And what the newsstand owner would do is they'd rip the top cover off, and they would send that back, and then those books, they end in the trash. Some would go back to the distributor, some would just be given away to kids, and
and some would be sold bogusly.
Yes, some would be sold bogusly. It's a shame knowing what the book is now that half the top cover is ripped off. However, it is interesting because it very possibly could be one of the return books.
And the other thing here that we get into is how is the interior of the book?
Yes. Yeah, you have to get it graded.
Well, no, because people might have an issue that has a full cover that has a damaged interior, and they might Frankenstein them into one comic.
Yeah, they may want to marry the cover with the book. Unfortunately, CGC normally tags that, and they hit it for restoration. But the book that he has would have the cover ripped off. That would come back a 0.5 incomplete because of the amount of the cover that's missing. But the truth is, listen, a 0.5 still sells for, to me personally, for an incomplete book, I find it astounding. I guarantee you that book would still sell for over 1,000.
And the other thing, JP, you're absolutely right. And the other thing that's amazing is the era in which we've entered. Let's not forget that not too long ago, 3/5 of the front cover of Action Comics #1 sold for in excess of $6,000.
Yes.
This is I can't even figure that out.
Well, yep. I really wanted it.
Hey, Blevin.
I really wanted it. So about $6,000 was a good price.
Did you buy that?
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing the past few years. And so when I got back into collecting, my comic collection, my personal collection was sitting in a closet for probably close to 20 years. And I had bought some comics on eBay and some other places, like First Appearance of the Rhino and things like that. And I paid $8 or $9 in 2009-ish. So recently, when I started getting back into really collecting and doing a lot of the buy-sell trading and the Facebook stuff, and I looked up some of the prices of some of the books, and my jaw hit the floor where I said, I don't even understand how this book is possibly this amount of money.
Yeah. Oh, look! Do you see this, JP? You see this from Lou?
Yeah. Well, here's Lou's. It's off-white to slightly brown, but has all the interior pages. It's missing the right side vertically.
Vertically.
Yeah, so that's not an affidavit return.
No, his dad had bought it. His dad had bought it in a barber shop. He said.
Yeah.
Okay. That's somebody made a boo-boo and but still, I mean, you know what? If it's missing it vertically, but you can still see Spider-Man. I mean, the book is still, no matter how you want to look at it, CGC would peg it at a 0.5. Probably would say off-white to cream pages or cream pages, depending. But that book is still well over $1,000, which is mind-blowing.
It absolutely is.
I see low grade AF-15s go for sale in my group, 1.5s, 2.0s, and I'm talking $18,000. That's and 12 between. I would say between 12 and 18 for between a 1.5 and a 2, somewhere in there. I don't know the exact number, but right in that ballpark is where I've seen these sell for. Probably more on the lower side, but
That's
still.
great.
Could you imagine you have an AF-15, it's beat to high hell, it's a 1.5, and you get 12 grand for the book. It's mind-blowing.
It is. And what's interesting on the high end is that the more rare a comic gets, Superman 1, Action 1, Detective 27, Batman 1, handful of others, we have actually entered the era that decent quality restoration no longer kills a sale.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been accepted in movie posters. But we used to call the purple label, it was Plod, purple label of death.
Yes.
And now supply and demand has told us that on the books that are truly scarce, well, screw that. I'll take it if it looks good.
Yep. If it's professionally restored, CGC or CBCS has it tagged as professionally restored, not amateur.
Yeah.
There was an, I don't know if it was Superman. I think it was Superman #1 came up for auction. It was a 9.6 professionally restored. And I have to admit, like, I looked at that book and I had said, if I was able to put this in my personal collection right now, I would not think twice because it's a purple label, because it looked so beautiful.
Yeah, and part of that we get into. If you're going to have that book, you probably want to be able to, whether quietly or not, you probably want to be able to show it off, and that you get into eye appeal.
Yes,
and I'm sorry, a 9.6 professionally restored book versus a 2.0. Well, 2.0 is going to be the one that I maybe someday could afford, but if I had a chance at the 9.6,
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd love to have a Cap 1. I mean, that's just, but that's going to be the next $1 million comic.
Mm-hmm.
We got, what did it get to? What did it get to? Like 940,000 at Heritage?
Yes. And then, and the timely caps across the board, to find those in really nice condition is so difficult that I had done a comic show, Mid-Island Comic Show, and one of the dealers had some timely Captain Americas on his wall, and I think the highest grade was a 5.0. And I looked at this 5.0. I don't remember what issue it was. It was a Schomburg cover, and I swear my reaction was, I'm sorry, but for the age of this book and the scarcity and the rarity of this book, this is a high-grade copy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the fun stuff. That's the fun banter about grading, isn't it? Because you can look at it, and to me, if you go look at the black and white magazines, Marvel, Warren, Atlas Seaboard for that matter, and you can generally say, like, a 9.6 is the same as a 10. They just don't exist.
Well, definitely in private collections.
Finding a 9.2 is hard enough, right?
Blev, unfortunately, and listen, last year, just as an example, I had bought over 350 long boxes. I think somewhere around there me and my partner were buying comics, and I can't even begin to describe to you how rare some of this stuff is. We bought so many collections, and see, that stupid me when I was a kid, Silver Age stuff was all over the place. And this is in the late 70s into the 80s, right? And Silver Age was everywhere. My back issues were Silver Age books. But we never bought them. Now we're out and and I have a career. I work for local government. I have a career. And I do all this comic book stuff out of my love for comics, because comics brought me to my career, right? So the buying and the selling and buying collections and all that now, this is all for fun. I don't need the money. I do this for fun. But when I open up a long box and I see Silver Age, my eyes get huge because I'm like, God, what's in here? I can't wait to see what it is. But unfortunately, it's never those grails.
Yeah. What's the best book you ever found, JP, in terms of like a surprise, like in a collection where you weren't expecting to find something great?
So let me think about this, because there's been some real whoppers for me. I still have never found, and I will say this, it irks me every day. I still have not found an Amazing Spider-Man 129, the first appearance of the Punisher. But last summer, within 1 week, I bought 2 collections and pulled 2 Fantastic Four 48s out of the collection.
Nice.
And I always loved Silver Age Fantastic Four covers. Not always the story, but the covers, I always loved the covers. And the way that the font was for Fantastic Four, and I pulled 2 of those.
You know what's really funny, just to sort of to split off for just a second there. Early on, I'm not a real big fan of Kirby's covers on the series, but when you get into the 30s, and obviously something has clicked, they're like the best covers Marvel has.
I also love Sinnott's inking.
Of course.
On Kirby. And, I knew Joe, God rest his soul. And when I was younger, and I will fully admit this, when I was younger, I didn't have the same appreciation for the Golden Age and the Silver Age inkers and the pencilers that I do now. So, for instance, like one of my idols growing up was McFarlane. Todd, I always loved Spider-Man, and I had loved John Romita Sr. Thought he was great. I also loved Michael Zeck. And to this day, I still love Michael Zeck. He is my quintessential Punisher artist above all else. But a lot of the Silver and Golden Age guys, I didn't have the appreciation for their style yet. And it wasn't until I went to school for art that I started to really gain that. And, but those guys, I mean, like I said, McFarlane will always be an idol to me. And I've met him multiple times. He's remembered who I am. The last time I saw him, he shook my hand, and I was like a 6-year-old because he was shaking my hand. But I'm like you. There are guys that I didn't particularly love, and then I've grown to love them and appreciate what they've done and respect what they've done, and seen where that's moved things forward.
Boy, I totally get that. Like I said earlier, I always was I was always a Doctor Strange Ditko fan. Mm-hmm. But when Dan and Josh Braun and their partners that own Creepy and Eerie started putting out the artist-centric books, I think they started with Bernie Wrightson.
Love Bernie.
I started calling them and saying, you got to do Ditko next. And I swear that my complaints got it moved up on the schedule because I was like, they just wanted me to stop calling or something. But I think that, Dr. Blevins, what about you? What's the best comic you ever got buying a collection?
I got a Action Comics 252, the first Supergirl. I think that's the best comic that ever came walking into the store. That I got. That's
pretty great. What kind of grade was it in?
It was a 5.0.
Nice. That's a nice copy.
Yeah, it was definitely very nice. I mean, again, like I got to the point where I was definitely seeing a lot of these books, and going by what you're saying, everybody looks at the census that CGC has, and then also that PGX has, and then also that CBCS has. And when you look at it, when you look at the full range of it, like the books are scarce, but I don't think people realize that they're not as scarce as people think that they are. Maybe in the grades, but a lot of those items are still in people's personal collections that don't believe in getting them graded.
Oh yeah, listen,
there's true.
There's other things that people might, let's not even take their attitude about grading, that they might have an attitude where they think the copy is too low to get graded or it's too common.
Or they don't want somebody to know that they have it.
Well, let me give you an example. If you talk to guys who are now, retirement age, late 60s, mid 70s, and they were in the comic book business either as a fan or as a dealer back then. To them, Iron Man Submariner 1 is a super common book. That's their bias. They come into it because they were everywhere back then. But because they were everywhere and nobody knew how to classify them because it was a weird one-shot, all of a sudden, they're still a very common book if you look at what's available out there, either raw or certified. But The fair question is, when was the last time you saw it in grade? And it's because they spent so many years in quarter boxes
Absolutely.
that there aren't any. And we're going to find that with 90s stuff now, because so much of the 90s stuff was chucked into quarter boxes for so long, and then they were cherry picked or strip mined for your X-Men 266s and what have you. Right.
Yep.
Okay. There's still going to be some really great gem characters in there that suddenly have a movie or TV appearance, and all of a sudden that book's going to be worth a lot of money, and nobody's going to be able to find it except, stuff that's been at the bottom of a quarter box for like 12 years.
Yeah, and it's always people trying to tell a story, using a rare character. I mean, I remember when I went to submit a story to like one of the comic book publishers to try to see if I could become a writer for them. They said specifically, don't send us a pitch or don't send us a story where you took one of our obscure characters and made them this powerful, person, or told this incredible story about them, because they don't want to read that, And again, I think with the way it is now, again, every single year, more and more comic book collectors are being born or introduced to the group. Like, there's more coming in that are going out. You know what I'm saying?
I have my doubts about that, quite frankly. I think we've done a horrible job of recruiting new readers.
I will say that not only do I believe that it's true, but I think that the proof is the amount of books that are being graded, because the older generation.
Okay, all right.
Well, hold on. Let me finish my thought.
All right.
The older generation doesn't care about getting their books graded. They just care about
that's not true.
Okay, well, I was going to say the newer generation, they want to have a value. They want to know the value of their stuff. So I think the increase in number of books being graded on a regular basis shows that new people are coming into it way more than people are than people that are leaving.
I understand what Blevins is saying.
Yeah, I get the attitude in it, because there are now demonstrably more certified comics than there were previously. We still, I have no idea how small a percentage it is out of the total number of comics published that have actually been certified, but it's certainly an increasing number that have been certified. We've got 2 great companies doing certification. There are other companies out there. There's a company in Australia that does it too. Yep. And so this is all strong and everything great with that. But where we're dropping the ball, and Brian, I get what you're saying about older people. Don't get me wrong. There are those of us who say, hey, I prefer to be able to read my comics. And the fact is, I don't buy anything certified that I don't have a copy that I can read. Okay. And I'm maybe a minority in that, but that's just how it goes. There are some very loud voices that don't particularly like certification, but I don't think you can equate that with numbers. And I think
numbers are the only way you can equate it.
But let me say this very, very plainly. Grading newer comics doesn't pay the bills for the grading companies. Grading older, high dollar comics does. And you have to be some percentage older to have that kind of disposable income to grade and own expensive comics.
Well, where the grading companies now are really seeing a profit margin, right? It's in the signature, verified, witnessed signature.
Yep.
They're making a good sum of money on it. And CBCS, and I know Steve, wonderful guy, love him to death. I have to give CBCS a little bit of props right now. And some people, listen, grading versus non-grading is actually a post that if people post in the low grade group, we remove the post because it becomes a crap show every single time. But I have to give CBCS some credit for doing the verified signature for the non-witness stuff. And the reason why is, how many things did Jack Kirby sign that there was no grading? How many things did Stan sign? How many things did Bob Kane sign? There was no grading. And there are people that have legitimate autographs from these people. They met them, however they got them, and CGC kind of looked at them and said, "Well, you say it's Bob Kane, but we didn't watch him sign it." No, Bob Kane passed away. How could you watch him sign it?
And well, Soloff has had something like 30,000 comics signed, 30,000 signed comics. And this is all before, not all before CGC, but he just can't get him signed. You know, he didn't, you know, I guess want to pay. I mean, how you going to afford, who's going to afford to pay for all that?
It's a really good question, Billy. I think the signature verification program that CBCS has, I've availed myself of. I had a copy of Mickey Splain's Mike Danger #1, not a comic that a lot of people are out there looking for, but that and my 154th printing of I the Jury were signed by Mickey Splain, and the Mike Danger is signed and personalized to me, and to be able to get that, you know, because their affiliate that does the certification on the autographs was willing to say, yes, we've seen other Mickey Splain autographs, and this is one. Now I've got that book certified. I'm, you know, most of the cases I've had them witnessed and don't go through the travail of that kind of thing. But everything you said is spot on there. There was a comment here that Zan had that I wanted to make sure I said something about.
Well, it just
it was about supporting Ditko's Kickstarters. Yeah, that was.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Where is that? Let me find that, Zan. Oh yeah, okay.
It's up a little bit. Yeah, I got to say that is was I considered an honor to be able to support Steve Ditko's Kickstarters. It was, you know, it was toward the tail end of his life, and the guy was still producing work. And Robin Snyder's continued it on, and you know, God bless. But it was to me a real honor to be able, you know, here's a guy who stupidly wasn't getting work from Marvel or DC or anything like that, and one of the giants on whose shoulders we stand.
Yes.
And there was nothing wrong with the guy's storytelling.
No. You know, and it stinks because he didn't want to do interviews or anything like that. But I think to promote his work, you know, I wonder if we could have got.
He was very much a disciple of Ayn Rand.
Yeah, well, you know, hey, push your
stuff. And he lived it, you know.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
He was not ashamed.
Gentlemen, I feel like I've indeliberately derailed the conversation from She.
No, it's quite all right.
I just came in. I thought that's where we were. I just came in. I was like, all right, let's talk about
No. We're going to go back to She real quick, if I may, and then we're going to head out. Jeff, you drinking Jack and Coke or something?
I'm drinking a diet beverage.
Oh.
Jeff and I are on the brain. Vitamin
water, your brain, old chum. So right now, we're going to end it because we're coming on. We're closing in on 2 hours, and I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everyone out there for joining us. But if I may, I'm going to go to the campaign. Oh no, the hell! Move. Hang on. I want to share it. Where is it? Where's my sheet?
I want to thank Billy for bringing me in on the fulfillment duties and allowing me to relive some of my 90s glory when I worked in comics and some of my childhood, because it was a field day.
Yeah, we had so much fun. And Dr. Blevins had called JP and had offered to buy us lunch.
Oh.
He called me, and you know how I was, you know, and I missed it. So thank you, Dr. B, for that.
Yeah, you weren't answering your phone at all.
Oh, did you call me too?
I called you from outside. I didn't know where the place was.
Oh, yeah. You didn't see the next time it's in American Legion Hall?
I remember
Jeff. Actually, the truth is, I didn't know where the parking was.
Yes, and then you parked right. You parked in the wrong spot.
Jeff walked in, and I turned around. I had no idea that he was coming, and I see Jeff walk in, and I go, Jeff! I was all excited to see him.
What a great time. Well, Dr. B, we're doing it again this weekend, and I promise if you call, I'll pick up the phone. We'll be doing it in my house.
Done.
And then maybe Sunday we'll be heading back to the Legion Hall for Sunday.
Billy, have you refreshed this page?
What?
I want to see if anybody else bought Debbie a drink.
Yeah, I actually might have refreshed
26.
it. Let's see here. Let's see. 680. If I hit refresh. Let's see. Give it a second. There it comes. Oh, all right. Oh my gosh, we're almost at $120,000 on Indiegogo.
That's amazing.
So,
Wow.
so scroll down and let us see if
Plus the
there's more drinks here.
70,000 on Kickstarter. We're over 180. We're over 190,000 for the campaign. Thank you, guys.
How many drinks does Deb get?
Oh, let me see. Yeah.
Oh, 26.
28.
I've got
Two more drinks while we've been talking.
28 claimed.
And she needs it, that's for sure. I bet she's
Billy.
casting on the couch. I guarantee it.
Billy, scroll down to the Amanda Connor cover for a second.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to say something about this earlier. And we started doing our thing, which is sometimes what happens here, which is phenomenal.
Our shtick.
Yeah, our shtick. But this cover, when you get to it, I wanted to point this out before, because you were talking about a part of how, you know, there's such a long history of She from way back when to now that nobody knows. People want to know. And this cover from Amanda, I think, captures a human element of this character so well, because this is not something indicatively that you would normally see on a cover. You would see this maybe on a page in the interior of a story. And here we have a cover capturing a human moment and a human element that anybody can relate to that's a parent. I'm not, but any parent should be able to, where it's, hey, don't blame me. You're partially responsible for this.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't see this all the time, but this is one of those things that helps to bring fans closer to the character that they love, is when they see, hey, they're a lot like us. And I loved what she did with this.
Yeah, me too. And the thing is that what the cool thing is that it's my comic, so I can do whatever the hell I want. You know, I mean, when I did the Harley Quinn, the book I did, the big book with Jimmy and Amanda writing it, I submitted 2 cool roofs, and one of them was her kicking Hitler in the balls while she's dressed up as a beer girl holding 2 giant, mugs of beer, kicking Hitler in the nuts. And like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? It's Harley Quinn. What's better than her kicking Hitler in the nuts? And then the other one of her standing like this, which it ended up becoming the pose of her. And she's just standing like this, really cute, holding these 2 broken giant beer mugs. And you see all the heads of the Third Reich, Goebbels and Goering and Hitler and laying all at her feet. She killed them. She just beat them to death with these mugs of beer. And they rejected that too. It's like, what's up with that?
That's awesome.
I think this was a great cover choice.
Yeah. I want to tell you a fun fact about this cover. I don't know if you know this or not, but the picture on the nightstand is of me and Jimmy Palmiotti.
Oh, really?
What? Right there?
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Look at that. Blood has a cover appearance.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We got
That's
Lou.
definitely not real. I made that up.
Yes, Lou, you can come. You got to text me or message me your phone number, buddy. Definitely. We'd love to have you this weekend. Absolutely.
Well, gentlemen.
Yes, everyone. This is great. Guys, thank you for coming to help. Dr. B, thank you for offering to buy us lunch.
I'm glad JC stuck around this time, because last 2 times I got on, like, he left right before I came on.
That's right, Jeff.
My feelings started getting hurt.
Listen, Doctor. It is very hard for any mere streaming mechanism to contain both of us at one time.
I mean,
and you would have to start calling him
facts, you know? Hey, I just want to let you know that I became a city council member today.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
You're the councilman.
Yeah, the guy resigned. He stepped out of the race. So, and then there was one,
There can be only one, Blevin.
That's right.
That's right.
There really can be only one Blevin. That's a fact.
That's a fact. All right, everyone. You guys, thank you for joining us.
Billy, I gotta say this. I know I said this the weekend I got the PDF, and I know I've said it to you in person already, and I'll just say it in front of everybody else. Man, in all seriousness, until Haikyuu, this is the best She comic ever.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
this is without a doubt. I hate using comeback because it's not what it is, but it is. This is a freaking great comeback issue. The people who didn't get this are going to be disappointed. They should go on while it's still available in demand on Indiegogo. Get it. They're not going to be disappointed with it.
Yes.
Whatever cover you get is beautiful. Don't forget, you still owe me Amanda Connor cover.
Why didn't you take one of those?
You told me not to because you had a box at home.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah,
Nice try.
that's right.
Why didn't you take one? Because you told me not to. Oh yeah, you're right.
All right, guys.
the
JP,
cover-
great to see you. Blevins, great to hear you.
Yeah,
the cover's
yeah.
I'm gonna meet Dr. Blevins. Jay,
Yeah, I had to rush to get
this
on.
weekend. Jay, I don't know what you're doing this weekend, but we'd love to see you.
I'm going to see if I can pop by Saturday.
We'll light a fire pit and we'll sit around the fire pit and talk comics, which is always a great time.
And guys watching, I'm telling you guys, I know because I had them all in my hands, packing them for you. Outstanding covers on this book. Really amazing artwork.
Quality printing.
I have to mimic JC. I mean, like, this story was by far one of the best stories that I've read, not just from She, but I mean, like, the whole, like, detective aspect of it I thought was incredible.
Well,
long live the duck stick.
Long live the duck. It gets even better, Dr. B. And yes, tomorrow, everyone, please join us tomorrow. Me and Niall Scala and the crew and Dr. B is that we have the one, the only Ethan Van Sciver's coming up to talk about Cyber Frog and all the amazing things he has going on. That he's broken on his second time. He's broken over $1 million. You've even said Berserker was making a big run, and that kind of has been falling short. So he is still the reigning king of crowdfunding.
That is the first comic I worked on professionally at Harris.
Oh, dude, you got to come on. You got. I don't know if you got to at least come in and.
All right,
and
I'm out.
I loved that book.
JC.
All right, good night, guys.
Everyone,
Thank you so
See you,
much.
Billy. Bye, JP.
Bye-bye.
See you later, guys.
Return of the Warrior, everybody. Right now, we're live. We are ending this campaign in a few weeks. We're fulfilling. And once it's done, we got to make room for She-Hikyo. We're going to get that bad boy out. So,
Killing
right,
the game.
I am going to bed, brother. I will talk to you tomorrow.
Definitely. Y'all have a very good night. See you guys. See you,
All
Billy.
right.
Sorry I came on late, man, but better late than never.
That's right. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow with EVS. And Niall is not here today because Niall is working at his real job.
I thought it was Thursday for EVS. Is it tomorrow, Wednesday?
Oh, tomorrow. That's right. Tomorrow we have another show tomorrow. That's right. We have a trifecta of amazing creators.
Yeah, absolutely. Thursday is EVS. Tomorrow is
EVS fans to join in and see some cool stuff. So
that's right.
All right, everybody have a great night, and we'll talk to you guys later. Oh,
See ya.
dang. I got to hit my end. I'm running the show, right, Dr. B?
Dude, it's all you, man. It's your world. We're just in it.
All right, guys. Everyone have a great. Where's the end screen? All right, that's the end screen. He did not write the end of the video, so I'm going to do the pop intro again. You know what? Maybe I should hit with the She one.
Definitely do the She one. I mean, this
All
was
right,
a She broadcast.
Good night, everybody. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.